Hi mamas, welcome to my channel. My name is Anna. I am 32 weeks pregnant and here on YouTube I am sharing my pregnancy journey. Since Amazon Prime Days are coming up on October 10th and 11th with lots of great deals, I figured I would reshare my pregnancy must-haves and favorites so that if you guys need any of that, you can still take advantage of the Amazon Prime deals. If you're watching this video after the Amazon Prime days are over, I would still very much recommend every single item that I'm going to be talking about in this video. Those are all incredibly helpful and I pretty much cannot imagine my pregnancy without them. So let's go. I tried to bring as many things as I could here in the room with me so I can actually show you, and then other things I'll include pictures or videos because they're just a little too much to bring into the camera. And the first category is just like a very broad general pregnancy favorites and must-haves, and the first item is a humidifier. Especially if you live in a drier climate, humidifier is so important, so useful for pregnancy. It is definitely making my sleep a lot more comfortable, and I can definitely tell the difference between sleeping with the humidifier on or without. If, for example, it runs out of water in the middle of the night, we got the humidifier was a bigger tank so that we don't have to worry about refilling it every night, but we still refill it once every 2 to 3 nights. And then we really run it 24/7. There's this lovely pregnancy symptom that is called the postnasal drip. During pregnancy, your body is starting to produce more fluids to support the changes in you and your growing baby. And that includes fluids such as like nasal mucus and stuff, and that can really stuff up your nose and make it very uncomfortable to breathe, to sleep, to just function in general. And humidifier will probably not completely get rid of this problem, but makes it so much more comfortable, so I highly recommend. I'm gonna leave all the links on the exact products that I have and love down in the description, but really any humidifier that is strong enough to at least last through the night will do, and it's amazing. Next on the list is pregnancy pillows. I know that everyone is saying that you need one, and then there's all kinds of people and opinions on what kind of pillow you need. I feel like generally there's that like the giant C or U-shaped pillow, and then there's also the smaller, like more like a wedge pillows, and so people are usually very split into the two camps of which pillow is more comfortable or helpful or whatnot. I found that both are amazing just for different things. So the huge pillow was super helpful in the beginning of my pregnancy when my belly wasn't really showing yet, but I already knew that I want to be sleeping on my side and I want some support, so that pillow is very cozy, very comfortable. But then at some point my belly just got a little too big for that huge and fluffy pillow to be comfortable. So then I got this one, and one of the halves goes under your belly, another half supports your back. I find this one super comfortable and it's not as bulky, so I can still enjoy my regular pillows for sleeping for like my head, and then just have a little extra support on the side of my back and my belly where I need it, and it doesn't feel like we have an extra person sleeping in bed with us, which is also nice. A coffee machine. I cannot imagine my life without coffee, and for the past probably a good 5 months I've had a latte every single day I definitely prefer making lattes at home. We have this like amazing coffee machine that is super easy to use and that makes espresso, lattes, cappuccinos. I believe it's originally right under $200, so it's also pretty budget friendly for a coffee machine like that. And then it's also going to be on Prime deals. Definitely a pregnancy favorite for me. And I also have this little trick on how to minimize or lower the amount of caffeine that I'm consuming. I am mixing half of the decaf coffee beans with regular. So I know that my latte still has some caffeine to help me wake up and have energy for the day, but at the same time, it's not too caffeinated and it still tastes really good because of the portion of regular beans. Because don't know about you, but I can definitely taste the difference between regular coffee and decaf just never tastes that great. So the solution of mixing half and half has been working for me. And the last thing in this very just general category is my water bottle. This is a Stanley Cup dupe. It looks, I'd say, similar enough. It definitely does the same thing as the Stanley Cup. It is at least 2 times cheaper than a Stanley Cup. My favorite part about it is that it is a 40-ounce cup, so I know that if I refill it once during the day, so I finish 2 full ones, that's a pretty good, that's 80 ounces of water that I'm consuming in a day, which is a pretty good amount for pregnancy, because you want to stay hydrated. It's very important. And I also found this kind of ridiculous but also super cute and useful little fanny pack for my water bottle. It doesn't quite fit my phone. I think it fits like an iPhone 11, but iPhone 14, or I think 14 Pro I have, it's a little bit bigger, doesn't fit it. But it's super convenient because if I go anywhere where I will need my car keys or my ID or credit card or chapstick or anything like that, but I don't have pockets or purse, it's a problem. But this little fanny pack holds all of that, so I really like that. At first I ordered that because it was really cheap and really funny. And then I was like, oh my god, that's actually an amazing thing, super useful. So yeah, just, you know, they make fanny packs for water bottles now. Okay, the next category is beauty and health. I am really trying to do my best or to do whatever I can to avoid or minimize the chance of getting stretch marks. And so far, fingers crossed, that 32 weeks, I have not had a single stretch mark. And while I know that a big part of that is genetics and there's not much we can do, I also believe that the constant moisturizing does help. My very favorite lotion is this one from Eucerin. It is the Intensive Repair Lotion. That is like the richest formula that you can get from the brand. It's really thick. It's really moisturizing. At the same time, it absorbs into the skin really nicely and doesn't like leave that like sticky feeling on the skin. I really love that, and I make sure I use that every day. Also, pretty much every day I use hyaluronic acid serum just to add and preserve a little bit extra moisture in my skin. I found this one on Amazon and it was really cheap for 16 ounces, which is perfect for like the body moisturizing, which is what I'm doing with it. This is my second pack. I love it. It's really lightweight and it dries up really quickly and does not leave any residue. I'm also very afraid of melasma or any kind of like skin changes and like the dark spots on the skin. So sunscreen every day religiously, even before pregnancy, but especially during pregnancy. There's lots of great sunscreens, but my favorite that I keep going back to is the one from CeraVe, and it is the Hydrating Mineral Sunscreen was Broad Spectrum SPF 30. It is tinted, so it also acts like a very lightweight like foundation. So not only does it protect the skin from the sun, it also makes it look better. I definitely plan on taking advantage of the Prime Day deal for this sunscreen, and will probably order a few packs because I know I will go through them. And last thing in the health and wellness and beauty category is fiber. I cannot stand the fiber powder that you mix with water and drink. That texture grosses me out so much. I cannot, so I do pills instead. So these are the fiber pills that I get. It recommends that you take up to 9 pills a day, and this bottle has 500 of them, so it'll last you for a while, and it really helps with the with your digestion and constipation and all that fun stuff that you are very, very likely to experience at some point in your pregnancy. In terms of clothes, I try my best to avoid buying a lot of maternity clothes because I know that it's going to be a very temporary situation, and if I can make something work that is not maternity and that I will be able to use after birth when my body is a little more back to normal, then I will. But there are a few items that are just so much more comfortable when they're maternity that I think they are totally worth paying for. One of them is the maternity tops. I was wearing just the regular tank tops and they worked for a while, but now that my belly is growing quite a bit, they just became uncomfortable. They're just not long enough and they pull up, and I constantly catch myself trying to like hold it or pull it down, and it's uncomfortable. So I found these tops. It was a 3-pack, and they have this like ratchet design on the side which that goes very nicely over the belly. They're super comfortable. There's different sizes. So highly recommend. And one more thing that I really want to mention and recommend is the lounge pants. They have a ton of colors. The pants are super, super comfortable. And what makes them so amazing for pregnancy is the top. There's a string that you can tie as tight or as loose as you want, and also like a pretty wide band. So they're just so comfortable and nice and loose, almost like a flare pant. I think they're gonna be a part of my going home outfit from the hospital, and definitely the postpartum pants of choice. And I also have a few recommendations and favorites from like the health and exercise area. First one being a treadmill. I got my treadmill off Amazon a few months ago when I realized that it's just too hot for me to get like any kind of walking done outside. And I'm being pretty lazy this pregnancy, so I haven't been able to consistently like exercise at home. So I got the treadmill that is under $300. It's also on Amazon Prime deals, but it's pretty lightweight, easily portable, even by me pregnant. The handle goes up and down for easier storage, as well as you can like exercise on it while you're working at your desk. It's super helpful because I can just get on the treadmill while I'm watching a movie or a TV show or something and get at least that 30 minutes of activity that they recommend as your like base activity level for pregnancy, and that just makes me feel good, makes me feel like I'm actually staying active. Now that my belly is growing bigger, my lower back has been hurting a lot more, so I am using this belly band. a lot more often. I try not to use it like every day and only use it when I have the back pain or like the round ligament pain, but it just seems to happen more and more often. The one that I have is from Motive Medical. It is considered a medical equipment, and if you go on their website, you can get the codes for medical equipment. So you can have your doctor write a prescription for that, and then your insurance might cover some or all of it, which is super nice. And one more thing that I literally cannot live without for the past maybe like 2 weeks is a birth ball. Doesn't have to be specifically a birth ball. It's a yoga ball. Same thing. Just make sure you read the instructions and you get the right height for you. But I literally spend more time on this birth ball every day than anywhere else. It is super, super helpful to relieve pressure from your back, and also to do a bunch of different like exercises, like hip mobility and whatnot, to help the baby stay in the right position. And it's actually really comfortable. It doesn't really feel like I'm exercising when I'm using it. It feels really nice. Those were some of my recommendations to take a look at and hopefully take advantage of during the Amazon Prime Day deals. I also am planning to get a lot more stuff for pregnancy, birth, and after during the Amazon Prime deals. If you didn't know, if you have the Amazon Baby Registry, the completion discount applies on top of any other discount that is applicable to the item. Those were some of my pregnancy must-haves and favorites, recommendations. And now just a quick little update on the 32 weeks pregnancy. I feel like for the past 2 weeks my belly all of a sudden grew to the point where now I couldn't really hide it even if I wanted to. The baby is moving like crazy and I'm loving those moments. All this growth and changes contributed to increased lower back pain and hip pain and round ligament pain. So that's been not very fun to deal with, because sometimes I feel like a very, very old person, and I'm not. 32 weeks. Fingers crossed, still no stretch marks. I firmly believe that, at least partially, due to all the skincare that I do to help my skin. We also have switched into a full gear, getting ready for a birth. We are actively learning, well, we have been learning for a while, but we're also actively practicing different hypnobirthing techniques and labor positions and breathing techniques, just to make sure we have different tools to cope with labor. In the past month or so, we did a lot of baby classes, and most of them were from the hospital. And I want to say it's been amazing, and I'm super glad that we did do that and took the birth classes from the hospital. At some point in my pregnancy, I got into this area of Instagram and YouTube reels where it's just very negative against the hospital and doctors and all the interventions that they want to do to you that are so unnecessary, which I do realize that might still be happening somewhere. But also, after taking classes from the hospital where we're going to be given birth, so after talking to the labor and delivery nurses that actually work there, and one of them could very well be my nurse, and I just feel a lot better, and I feel like there's a lot of items on my birth plan that I can just remove. For example, I had a point that said minimal cervical exams, right? Because I read about how it can be not very beneficial for the progression of labor. And then this nurse was like, yes, it's actually the ACOGs American College of Obstetrics and Gynecology. Those are the recommendations. We know that routine cervical exams are not that great. We know to not do that just because. Like, we only do them if necessary or if the mom requests them. We don't just do them for fun. We know to minimize them. So like that was a big one. And then also about like episiotomies, where she said that those are not routinely done. We know that natural tearing is better and heals easier than episiotomies, so unless it is a medical necessity, those are not going to be done to you. You don't need to like put that on your birth plan, because no one is sitting there with the scissors just waiting to go in and cut you. Things like that, which was again just really nice and comforting to hear from the medical personnel that is actually working those positions and helping moms in labor, and just to know that, okay, I'm not gonna have to fight for every single little thing that I thought I would have to fight for. Because while there are still a lot of medical interventions happening that might not be very necessary, hospitals and medical staff also are recognizing the importance of letting things unfold by themselves. And I guess the last thing that came to mind when I was thinking about this like 32 weeks pregnancy update is that I really have a very bittersweet feeling about my pregnancy coming to an end soon. I cannot wait to meet my baby, to hold my baby. I just cannot wait. I'm so excited that that's coming up. But at the same time, I've been loving this pregnancy ever since 16 weeks when I started feeling good. So I also feel like I'm a little maybe even sad that the pregnancy is not gonna last for much longer. And I'm like, oh, but like I really like this state and I like a lot of things that come with it. So it's very bittersweet. Obviously, not much that I can really do about it other than just try and enjoy the time that we have left with the baby in my belly before the even more exciting life was a baby in my hands. Anyways, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for sticking around, and I will see you next week. Bye.